Hello and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordes, joined by our superintendent, Mr. Hime. Hello.
Hey, it's summertime.
It is summer.
We got everybody graduated, walked across the stage. Little casual look. We got as a guest today. He missed the memo on we're casual and trying to wear a tie and make the superintendent look bad.
He's making us look bad.
Hey, we're excited to be here.
We're really excited to have our next guest too. I love having that, extra guests to share what's going on, and we're not ending in the summer. We still have great things to share with our community.
Yeah, hopefully we can continue. This has turned out to be a really great communication
Video cast.
for us. A video cast, there you go. And we feel like it gives people a chance even to go back and look and try to learn and understand what's going on. 2 weeks ago we brought on Vanessa and we talked about maker spaces and what is a maker space. And this Miss Oates came on last week and talked about
a week before, because last week we had graduation,
that's right.
So we missed it. Yeah.
Yep. Then we brought Miss Oates in and she talked about the Life Ready Center. Well, one of the other big moves we have this year is what we're calling our TAP program, or our Technologically Applications program. And what it's about is, Mr. Jones, jump right in and tell us what does TAP mean?
Well, like you said, the actual TAP is Technology Application Program. And in a nutshell, it gives us an opportunity to work with students who need a deeper conversation, vitamins, minerals, love from the educational system. And so we are here to really just try to do that and get that, resolve some of those issues that students have in a traditional setting.
Some students, and this is kind of where I come from, and please elaborate, but some students sitting in a classroom 7 hours a day with 7 different teachers, 7 different sets of rules, it just doesn't work for them. It's not that they're not as smart or they're not as successful and we can't have the same expectations for them. It's just that there are hands-on students that function better in a hands-on environment. So what do you do with the TAP program to try to create opportunities for those students?
Well, just that is try to make everything as hands-on, as tangible as possible. Sometimes we get in this idea, because we are in a testing mode right now. We've been that way for several years now, where everything is just really abstract. And so putting things back in, like whether it be woodworking, whether it be some type of offset of it's not necessarily ag, but teaching students about whether growing plants or wood shop or automotive service, small engine repair, anything that will get a student to work with their hands, develop relationships, at the same time be able to relate some of those skills to the academic side. And so one of the things that I have, and this is an example here, my son, he tells a story all the time when he's an engineer at this time. When he was in school, engineering was not an idea. He didn't necessarily take math classes or science classes, but it was his grandmother and seeing different things out in the community like waste. And he never understood, well, we're wasting a lot of food. We're wasting a lot of time. And so when he was at school, this guy came from OU and said, hey, this is an engineering program, and it's the type of engineering where they discuss waste and maximization. They had him at that. Had nothing to do with school, had to do with relationships, something that his grandmother, who had a 3rd grade education, taught him. Nothing that his calculus teacher taught him or his physics teachers taught him. It was his grandmother. And so bringing some of that back into the classroom, or bringing that into the classroom, that is really the key, I believe, to getting these students from middle school all the way through career.
And to be life ready. And he said that with the relationships that we're doing, and that's what's exciting, because it's a little different dynamic in the TAP than it is just a traditional class setting.
The thing I like from my seat is, I always say all means all, and we're trying to find something for all students. And I try to break students into, you have your hands-on students who really want to work with their hands and be more career-minded, or what we call the old VOTEC, or, and then we have our academic students that are more college-minded, that are looking for those academic settings where they're trying to score a big ACT or have a great grade point average. Doesn't mean one is smarter than other. I have a brother that's a welder. My dad was a mechanic. We have different functions in life. And I really feel like, people think, well, we're pushing those college credits down to high school next year to try to give that more opportunities and more flexibility to our students that are looking to go to college as they move into high school for the life ready. But what are we doing for our non-college ready students? And I think this TAP program is going to fit the needs.
Right. And actually, on the other end of that spectrum, even those students who are traditionally our college-bound students, our honors, accelerated students. You know, I imagine a student coming up to me saying, "Hey, Principal Jones, I also want to learn how to do welding. I want to learn how to do, farm to table. How can I get involved?" Yes, you can.
Sure, that's good. I like that because all students should have every opportunity we can create. You said welding. How would we do welding with something like that?
We're working on it.
I hear they have virtual welders that students can kind of take.
Yes, sir.
And the other thing I like about it, and when I visit with different people, is the ultimate goal is to create introductory programs for our career tech or Great Plains. And if we can introduce our students to some of those programs, they'll have a better feel when they become juniors which program they want to take. Now a kid, when they're a sophomore, you take them to the career tech. One day, 200 kids walking around the career tech, hand you a piece of paper and say, if you want to go to the career tech, what do you want to take? And it's like, that's not a lot of pre-information to make that big of a life decision. So hopefully we can help them make them. So what do you see in the future? How many students, teachers? When you look at Central, how do you see that looking next year?
So next year, I'm glad you said next year, because in my mind, I was thinking a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Because in my mind, I'm thinking at some point in time, I want every student to be able to have some type of career, some type of trade, at least introductory level, before they leave Central Middle School.
Yeah, we wish we could do some carpentry ourselves because, skills are not bad to have.
Right.
I say this forever, and my daughter's a lawyer, so I'm not disparaging lawyers, but it's a lot easier to find a lawyer than it is a carpenter right now.
Definitely. And so to answer your question, for next year, we are looking at having about 160 at a max. We want to try to keep the classes relatively small for next year, just an introductory year. And as we continue to grow, those numbers will potentially grow. As we get more space, we can also continue to grow, which is a good problem to have if we need more room. And so, but 160 students, there's going to be in 2 sessions. We'll have a morning session, then we'll have an afternoon session.
So that'll be awesome. I'm excited about the TAP program. I'm excited about the Life Ready.
Well, and I was going to say, and that's just for parents to understand that are watching this, because we've talked about the Life Ready Center. And Mr. Jones explained too that, how they get their kids involved if they haven't already started working on that and what that process looks like.
But woodworking, carpentry, plumbing, what you said, welding, some of those skills can help. Automotive, they can help fuel the mind where we move forward into engineering, where we move forward into other fields, and again, the thing, and we talked about this on here last week, there's a video out there called Shift, SHIFT, Shift Happens. If you've never seen that video, it talks about how 60% of the jobs that our students in high school have today don't even exist. So we don't know what the jobs of the future are going to be. So the more skills and the more opportunities we give. So we're excited about it. Anything else you'd like to share about it?
Just really more and really the labs, what we're calling them, it could be anything. It's just really just getting that mindset and thinking that, hey, I can go this way, I can go that way. There are a multitude of things that are available for me as a student, for me as a parent, to put my students in. And so we're just trying to give a lot of opportunities, as many as we possibly can. If someone comes, next year, if we have a teacher in the building who can do, I don't know, underwater welding. I don't know why I'm stuck on welding right now. And then we're going to probably get with the YMCA. I'm partnering with them and say, hey, we need to use your swimming pool to work.
Just a bunch of different things. Nothing's off the table. It's
and that's what
just
I like
a bunch
about
of conversations.
That's what I like about Mr. Jones, because that's the ultimate goal I have as a superintendent, and getting that and making everybody, and he has that same mindset that create more opportunities. That's one of my 3 things I list in almost every meeting I have with my leadership team. One of the things is we want to create opportunities and tear down roadblocks.
Right.
We want as many opportunities for every student as we can have, and this creates more opportunities for more students, and we're excited. And again, out of the box, we're looking for more programs to add to it, for more opportunities and more hands-on, different things that we can do in a middle school setting. So we're excited about where that's going. We're going to be excited next year. I think we're going to try to go live some, so it'll be fun to go to the TAP Center and watch the kids in action and the hands-on and see how that goes.
I do want to add, this is at all 3 middle schools.
Yes.
I want to make sure I say that. So
Yes.
Parents, if you are interested for your child, if you want more information, please contact your middle school principal and sign your child up for this program.
Yeah, and just know we're learning, and again, we one thing we learned from the pandemic that I think has made me better, and I think it makes us better, is we've learned Quit thinking you got to plan forever to do something.
Right.
We learned we can do it overnight. And this is one of those things that, there was a time, well, let's wait a year. But if we wait a year, this year's kids don't get it. So we're going to put it in place next year. And we got some excited teachers to work with it in all phases of it. We got some administrators excited. And obviously you can tell from me, you got an excited superintendent about getting it in. So excited for you.
Mr.
I'm
Jones,
excited.
anything else you want to say before we get to our next topic of celebrations? Just really thinking about what's happening in, next school year.
Well, I'm ready. I'm ready for this summer to really get into the planning side of it. I'm excited once we can have this, because last year we jumped into some things, and rightfully so. This year we have a couple of months to get some planning done. It's gonna be hectic, if you will, but I'm looking forward to the challenge, because I have no more hair to pull out, and so I'm ready for it and ready for the next school year to begin. I'm excited.
So thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yes. And so as we ended the school year last week with graduations and promotions, let's talk about the celebrations we have as we head into the summer, because we're here.
3 graduations, got them all through without indoors. We were worried about the weather. Hey, when we moved them indoors, I told everybody, hey, Friday's going to be the best weather day of the year, and it was awesome. But they went off without a hitch indoors. The air conditioner worked. Packed house, students getting their, one of the best days of the year for the superintendent, to watch all the students walk across and get their diploma into that success and celebrating. A lot of teachers and parents and the students themselves put in a lot of work to get to that point.
And we had it live streamed, so if you missed it and you weren't able to come, it is on our YouTube channel, and you can find that under our graduations. It was nice to see people celebrating even online as the graduation was taking place. We have another thing that we just, we had a lot of great things going on this school year, and that was the one-to-one device. So let's talk about that before we...
Yeah, it's interesting because, it was one of the things that we pushed forward fast when I got here. One of the things whenever I interviewed for the job was like, how are we going to get to one-to-one? We know we should be one-to-one. So many people are... Well, we jumped right in, and of course the pandemic kind of forced it. We bought enough devices to get to one-to-one. So we are now one-to-one. Every student got a device. We passed out almost 2,000 hotspots for students that needed them. And so that's really exciting. We're taking those back up, so please get yours turned in or checked in if you haven't done so yet. The other thing, just a reminder, and it worked out pretty good this year, we have an insurance fee you can pay. You can buy insurance on the device, so that if you got a cracked screen or something like that, when you turn it in and you insured it, it's covered. And that's really good for our parents. Same way with their hotspot. If you check out a hotspot, we charge $15 insurance so that you don't have to worry about damaging a $100 hotspot. The iPads and Chromebooks are $30. So
Correct, and that's going to take place again next school year.
You'll reinsure your device the next year. And so when you think about it, if you used a device for 4 years, it's no longer usable, but you got your own device for 4 years for $120, and plus it's insured. So if you break it or damage it, you would get a replacement.
And there's also something that just came out too with the FCC, which is the emergency broadband benefit. And we're going to push more information out there for our families, but explain how that helps.
Well, it looks like to me that they're doing everything they can, and some of this is through the CARES. I noticed there's a bill to expand broadband in the state of Oklahoma. So they're going to try where instead of getting a hotspot, where the family can get internet at their home. And it's going to be based on some free and reduced lunch applications and some tribal things and different things. But hey, if you're interested, you just need to get with us. We'll try to get as much information out as that becomes available. And we really feel like by the time school starts next year, we won't need as many hotspots because we can get some of our parents' internet in their home. Which again, that's better for us because if everybody has access to the internet, because we're really only giving out one hotspot for a family, and that's nice, but getting the whole home internet and access to the web is something that we look forward to.
And we're not going to stop our communications with our family, so we will push that out via text message and on our social media and website.
Yes, definitely look for it coming because that's going to come fast from the state and federal level, access to internet, because that's a big push of our federal government and our state government is to get broadband access to everyone.
And another celebration, Western Hills Christian Church donated some more items, big goodie bags for our maker spaces, and it is filling up in our launch pad. It's really cool.
It's awesome. We've got all these people donating. We're going to have money left over.
Tell them about LFA, what they're going to do for MacArthur Middle.
We drew out a school, so this is exciting. Everybody knows we've been drawing a school out a month trying to draw a school out for a makeover. Well, Lawton First Assembly came and said, hey, we have our global work day. We want to be a part of that. I said, okay, well, when we draw one out, we'll make it yours. We drew out MacArthur Middle School, and then on July 10th, they're going to have a global work day, and LFA is going to come in and do a lot of the work that when we put our list together of what we're going to do for MacArthur Middle School, they're going to come in and do a lot of the work. And then, if what they can't do or whatever, we'll chip in. But it's going to be exciting to partner. And hopefully we can start partnering with more people to create that better curb appeal for all of our sites.
Well, and it shows community collaborations and that continued support from our Lawton Fort Sill families and community.
I say that forever, but that's the most amazing thing for me walking in this door as a new superintendent is just the overwhelming support this community has for Lawton Public Schools. Just from Fort Sill in the CG to the people in the community, our foundation, it's just been amazing. And then, you think about the year we went through and you say, man, look at this year in review. How great a job our teachers did, how great our staff did, the people around the teachers, our principals. But yeah, what about our parents? How we were getting kids to school every day. We were keeping them social distance. We were wearing masks, and we just had no publicity challenges over that. And you could see, anytime you turned the news on, you could see a story on some school where this happened or that happened. Or, some kid wouldn't wear a mask, where the parents are mad, where they want it overturned. Our community pulled together with our school people, and we got through with no problems and no disruptions, because I really think that people in this community believe our job is to educate students, not be political one side or the other. Let's do everything we can to educate our students. And again, a shout out to the community, everybody involved in that, because getting to Friday and watching the last person walk across the stage from Eisenhower's graduation was such a thrill to me to get through it with everything that went on.
And we just want to remind our families that summer school is going to start in a few weeks, in June 1st and June 7th. And we have that information on our website. It's not too late for families to enroll their student.
Summer feed.
Summer feed will start as well, and we'll have those flyers out and shared with our community. And then what else? What else is going on? Anything to expect and look forward to this summer? We are going to do it again next week, our video cast.
Yeah, we'll keep doing it, and we'll keep trying to bring more guests and more information as we move into next year. And again, I would say definitely stay on your toes and look about, what are the makerspace? What is a makerspace? GT testing. We talked about how we're going to get out there and let the parents nominate their students for GT or the teachers, and so we can get more kids, because we move that into the site, and how we want to involve more kids in our gifted and talented program. Go ahead.
And I was going to say, and just a friendly reminder, because we're talking about traditional school, but we're also going to have our virtual school in place next year as well.
Yes,
so we just want to remind our families
we will still offer our the flexibility didn't go away. We're still going to be flexible for our families next year and give them the learning platform they choose. And again, if you got questions, comments, or somebody you want to hear from, send us an email at info@lawtonps.org.
And we want everybody to enjoy the weather. Hopefully the rain will kind of let up and we can get a little bit of
summertime.
that summertime.
People can start getting into the water and pool and doing the water sports.
Mow my grass. I know.
There
that's
you go.
So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, have a great weekend, and we'll see you then.